What's up, guys? I'm fitness and nutrition expert Autumn Calabrese, here to talk to you guys about staying on track with your healthy eating for the holidays. And the biggest tips I have been giving is that you cannot abandon your healthy way of eating. In which case people reply to me, but Autumn, I want to enjoy all the flavors and fun of the holiday. And that is the thing. You can still do that without having all the extra sugar, all the extra fat, all the extra salt, and the preservatives. So what I want to show you guys is something I'm doing right now, right in the middle of it. I'm preparing for a Friendsgiving, and I've made an entree, I'm working on a side dish, and I've made a dessert. These are all from my cookbook and cooking show, Fixate. So these are the turkey meatballs, and I added a fun little twist. I just added some cranberries to give them a little bit more fun flavor of the season. Amazingly delicious, made them with ground turkey, so obviously a little less fat, a lot healthier. Also, they're homemade, so they're not loaded with additives and preservatives. The next thing I made was the Fixate no-bake pumpkin pies. You guys, these are to die for, and I'm not telling you that because they come from my cookbook. There's coconut sugar in there. It's not the white processed sugar. It's nowhere near the amount that you would get in a normal pie. We did a graham cracker crust on these. It's actually gluten-free. They're so easy to make. They are a hit every single time that I make them. And honestly, I personally think they're better than the pie that you get at the store. And then the last thing, which I'm right in the middle of making, is our green bean casserole. People love to make that green bean casserole with the creamy onion soup or the fried onions across the top. We're using frozen green beans. Sometimes that's the best kind to use because when fruit and vegetables are frozen, they're done right after they're picked, so they actually retain a lot of their vitamins, minerals, and nutrients. We're throwing in some onions and some garlic, olive oil, a little bit of seasoning. We're gonna bake them up. Not gonna take me very long to do. And again, absolutely delicious. Still gonna get all of those flavors of the holiday, but without all of the crap that goes with it. So I'm not telling people that you can't enjoy the fun and the flavors. What I'm telling you is to find a better way to do it. So now that we've talked about what you could maybe make for your Friendsgiving or your family dinners, let's just talk a little bit more about the season, the holiday season, because it's really not one meal that throws us off track, right? It's not. You can enjoy Thanksgiving dinner, be totally fine. You're probably not gonna gain 5 or 10 pounds in Thanksgiving dinner. It's when you eat Thanksgiving dinner for a week, or it's when you start celebrating the season in September, or you keep going long after the new year with the holiday flavors. We love our pumpkin spice, we love our peppermint mocha, we love the sugar cookies and all of that. So instead of overindulging in that, there are some staples that we can keep on hand in our pantry and our refrigerator that will allow us to make healthier options and still get all of the fun flavors of the season. So let's check that out. Let's start with our seasoning. So you guys, I keep my spice rack here and I keep a few more things inside the cabinet. And these are actually my favorite spices for fall. So I've got actual pumpkin pie spice, but ginger, nutmeg, cinnamon, and cloves. Those are your like typical pumpkin pie seasonings. You can use them to make a healthier version of one of our muffins from Fixate. Instead of going to the coffee shop and buying that big muffin, right? We all love that big pumpkin muffin, but it's loaded with cream cheese, it's loaded with carbohydrates, it's loaded with sugar and preservatives, additives. So keeping these spices on hand, like I said, you can really add them. You can add them to your pancakes. You can add them to the coffee. You can add them to the oatmeal. So you can add them to healthier foods to give you the flavors of fall. Now, let's go to the pantry. So, in my pantry, I like to keep pumpkin puree on hand. Sometimes I open it and I add it to my oatmeal. Canned sweet potato, put a little cinnamon and nutmeg on there. Love to use honey as a natural sweetener along with the maple syrup or coconut sugar. I don't really use white processed sugar. I was talking about peppermint mocha. You guys, this stuff is the best ever. So keeping things like that on hand, we even have our pumpkin pie Shakeology or pumpkin spice Shakeology that you can get as well to give you those same flavors of the holiday. And then last but not least is just a few things that I keep always on hand in the refrigerator. Apples, I core it, I top it with a little coconut oil, put a little cinnamon and nutmeg on there, put it in the oven, bake it till it's soft. It's basically like the inside of apple pie. I like to keep bone broths on hand. So you can keep either, these ones are made fresh, so that's why they're in the refrigerator, but having chicken stock on hand or bone broth on hand that you can add into your soups and your stews or Instapots that you're making. Those things add so much flavor and nutrients to your food instead of adding in more heavy cream or more salt or things like that. So make sure you're stocking your pantry, make sure you're stocking your refrigerator. If you want even more details on how I do that, you can check out Pantry Raid and Fridge Raid under Ultimate Portion Fix on Beachbody On Demand. All right, you guys, I'm gonna get back to finishing up my cooking. These are going in the refrigerator. I'm gonna finish up with my green bean casserole. Just remember, it's up to you. If you want it, you gotta do the work, and the work can be fun. So enjoy the flavors of the season. Just don't do it with all the extra additives in there. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys next time.